Hope you are having an amazing day. I feel like I'm really in the dark. Let's brighten me up a little bit there. Much better. It doesn't look like I'm in a sleepy little room. I'm not. It's a beautiful day today. I've got the dollar up. I'm going to start a quick little poll once I get everything up and set up properly. I want to share the live stream. All right. And let's go here. Ay, ay, ay. Sometimes when we have mistypes, oh, that's so funny. No, I don't want that. Oh, it's so funny. Oh, the autocorrect today has been hilarious. That's all I have to say. Oh, you gotta love it when things correct, like for a second to sex. Yeah, that's not cool, right? When you're mistyping. All right, so we have the live stream up and going, and quite a funny little photo there. Let's bring up the charts and the chat. Hello, why aren't you changing for me? Technical difficulties here. Hold on, bear with me. Why is that up? There we go. All right. We now have the charts. The SPY is melting down. Spring is here for the SPY. And we are ready to potentially see bigger moves. I do have the dollar up because we do have the Fed. We have the G20 meeting. In fact, let's go over here. So we have IMF meeting today. IMF, crucial. Back in 1944, the IMF was set up with Bretton Woods. Does anybody know what the big takeaway was for the IMF and Bretton Woods? They pegged the US dollar to gold. They started measuring commodities in the form of USD. We are starting to see a shift of this with Putin saying, no, gold is now worth 5,000 rubles, and that's how we want to get paid for our commodity of oil and gas in rubles. So yesterday, Yellen walked out of the G20 meeting because Putin was there. Well, this could cause a major disruption in how gold is valued around the world. If the US dollar becomes so devalued, right? If the US dollar buys less, that means commodities become more expensive, right? So now the US dollar could end up being like the Venezuelan Bolívar, yeah, and Lebanese currency, the Turkish currency. We could see hyperinflation coming to the US, in which case physical assets could be very important. So let's check out the SPY. Here's my list. If you guys are new to the live stream, I was gonna do a poll and I forgot what it was. I don't remember what it is. No big deal though. Wow, look at this big volume spike over here on the SPY, and we are below that. Interesting, right? From April 19th, we are below that big close level right there. Maybe we're going to see let's do something else too. Sorry, I need to eat. All right, we are below the major level of the past 3 days. Let's pull it back one more day and see. For this week, where's the big volume for this week? Above us. So we are likely going to see a bit more of a sell-off. Oh, thank you. So looking for the SPY to have a bit more of a trim. Potentially, we also had the Fed come out and say, hey, we're going to have that third interest rate hike happening later this year in July. So that's going to really affect mortgage rates. That means that likely mortgages are going to become too expensive for people, right? We've seen inflation, the invisible tax go up with gas, food, clothes, everything. However, how many people have seen their paycheck go up to the same rate as inflation? Hasn't happened. So it's the invisible tax. That means that people are going to be able to less likely to afford these new interest rates on homes. And for those people that have flexible interest rates that only ever saw it, or got into it during the pandemic time, they're going to start to see that it will flex. You have to double check your paperwork and see if those interest rates have a maximum increase of 2%, 5%. What is the flexible rate cap annually on your mortgage? You might be quite surprised, and something that you were just barely able to afford might actually put you into that foreclosure scenario. So read those documents and check it all out. All right, so checking out the SPY today, definitely had a nice short trade below the 447.75 level that I did map out earlier today. Also, the Qs, 344.40. Look at that nice $4 fade off of that. We have a nice bearish engulfing over here on the daily chart. We also have IWM breaking down, came all the way down, also about $4 potential profit there. And Dow Jones had a nice small range today and a bigger drop down as well, but not quite as massive as the bigger indexes. All right, let's check out American Airlines. American had nice earnings report, had gapped up, was up at 21. Now, like the market, it came back. We are hitting the 4 EMA, and we had a bit of a bounce from the 4 EMA. We came down there, touched it earlier, right at open, and pre-market hours. And then we've bounced up higher for American. We also saw sympathetic trading with Delta. We saw a spike off of Delta's earnings by American and vice versa. We also saw that Delta actually bounced higher and is holding and performing a little bit better than that American move today. So we had a nice move up, $1.25 there. Let's look at AT&T. Also had earnings today, and a bullish move up above 1980. Sure enough, we have that. This is suspect to me, right? Are we going to be heading all the way up here on the 24-hour chart? We do have this crazy spike, so maybe we're going to see another $3 move on AT&T. We do have a nice rounded bottom, a little handle that has formed, and boom. So if we look at this, we look at the height, 20 down to 1740, 20. Then we're looking at 280 from here, so 2280 is projected target for AT&T. All right, Tesla had better than expected earnings as well today, but a big move up, so a trade on both directions today. Potential move up, we had $17 to the upside and to the downside below 1050, almost $20 there. Intel, really have to drink some water. I haven't been drinking water today and my voice is scratchy. So Intel had a nice pullback, came back down to that 161 EMA on the 15-minute chart. And let's check out Netflix. Took a beating earlier this week and continued beating today, right? Came down to 212 and a bit of a bounce right there. Carvana also had earnings today and a bit of a move to the downside, but really hasn't done too much. A little squeeze spike. This does have lower float with 85 million in it, so it does have some more ability to move. We also have Alcoa, aluminum. And what's interesting is that China really stopped production of aluminum because it was so expensive in relation to energy. So we saw aluminum and Alcoa perform nicely off of that. Now that the earnings is out, they did have a positive earnings report. However, it is correcting back down a bit. Maybe the projected future sales are going to be lower. So we see that this has had a bigger drop, $6 drop. Not too much in relation to the float, but a nice drop down there. Rio, all of the golds and metals today are very much dropping and correcting a bit. So you always want to take profits up at the top, right? Trim a little bit, and then if it goes, take some more profits, and then look for that potential re-entry. If we started to have a bounce off of the 75 area, I would look at this as a potential entry to continue a new position for the next wave up if we can see that the volume will continue and show that this is the support area. FCX as well also had earnings and a big drawdown as well. So a lot of these metals we've seen across the board right now are having a bit of a correction. With the oil draw numbers yesterday, one would think, but this will get us in trouble in the market, that the price of oil would then increase and so would all of our commodities, right? When we look at inflation, the US dollar buys less, which drives the prices up. It would likely run into profit margins for all of these major names in the S&P 500, the Russell 2000. The small businesses will probably be more heavily hit than the larger businesses because their profit margins are potentially smaller, just based on sheer numbers, right? So looking at this, we also see the SPYs hitting the 161 EMA on the 24-hour chart over here on the left. So maybe we're going to see that we find a bit of support right here. Maybe we are going to have a bit of a rebound. We do have, I believe there's another announcement for today. Yeah, Chairman Powell is speaking at 1 o'clock. And so this could really change the momentum for the day. So keep it on watch. This is, as they like to say in the Forex world, a high impact event. So pay attention for that. We also have Great Britain's Governor Bailey speaking at 12:30, so that might create different momentum in the day. We shall see. But the big one is the IMF meetings are wrapping up today. They should have an announcement at the end of the day. Let's see if we have a time frame on that. I don't think they have a time frame, but they should be doing, here you can see, a formal statement covering policy shifts and meeting objectives is released, I can't talk today, I gotta go eat lunch. Released after the meetings have concluded. Both the comments and statements can create market volatility. So we did have some market volatility 20 minutes ago, and we will see what happens with this announcement. Do you guys have any questions? Hello, Josh, and hello, Jack. Just race. Do you guys have any questions? Anything else you want to look at really quickly on the market, on cryptos, anything in particular? Nothing? All right, if you guys don't have any questions, then I am going to wrap it up for today. Go and have some lunch so that I don't end up hangry. And I will be with those members live tomorrow at 8:15 on my channel. If you do subscribe as a member, you can see me building my watch list live. Every morning the market is open. And then my recap midday as well. Have an amazing day, Carpe Profit, and seize those